Coming up on this edition of Southwest TV News. Since Christmas, cold temperatures combined with high wind chill values have had a grip on Saskatchewan. Environment Canada gives us this look ahead to the forecast in the coming weeks. And Swift Current's WMBL champions are looking forward to the upcoming season with a new name. The official announcement was made this week. As the Chinook School Division looks ahead to the next 6 months of the current school year, it faces numerous challenges, following shortfalls in funding from the province. Thanks for joining us here today. The month of January has brought frigid temperatures across southwest Saskatchewan, and many are hoping these conditions will improve in the coming weeks. Since Christmas, cold temperatures combined with high wind chill values have had a grip on Saskatchewan. And as we make our way through the second week of January, the cold Arctic air continues across the region, with extreme weather warnings in effect. And as far as the long-term outlook for February, Environment Canada gives us this look ahead to the forecast in the coming weeks.
So I think that what we see are the two kind of almost extremes of weather. And we think because of La Nina, it's a weak episode, it's cooler water, not the El Nino warm waters of last year. It was going to give us more of a winter, and it's going to be, I think, something in between those two extremes. The lack of a winter last year and 3 years ago when there was really too much winter. So we think it'll be somewhere in there. But there will be moments where there is some melting, thawing, so I think that will break up the winter and make it less long.
And going forward, each day will bring us a few more minutes of daylight, as our prairie sunshine will help get us through those cold days ahead.
But with that sun shining, it can be very uplifting. Psychologically, it's a real winner, more than you have in many other parts of Canada. On the west coast, in central Canada, in the east, we often put up with this kind of weather, maybe not quite as cold, but with overcast, or we have to be reintroduced to the sun because it goes long for days, if not weeks, without making an appearance. But not in Saskatchewan. It can often just cheer one up and allows one to grin and bear the kind of a cold weather that you're famous for.
The normal high for this time of the year in the Swift Current area is -9, with an overnight low of -19. For over 12 years, Southwest TV News has provided the visuals for the defining moments in our community. Support your community and help us to continue our work. Support our sponsors by watching the ads on YouTube and by clicking the ads on our website. Pennies per click, which will help us continue to bring you the award-winning news coverage you've come to expect from Southwest TV News. A new name and logo has been chosen for Swift Current's longstanding WMBL team. We have more in this report. It's the start of a new year and time for new endeavors. And Swift Current's WMBL champions are looking forward to the upcoming season with a new name. The official announcement was made this week, as the team will now be known as the Swift Current 57s. A name which was decided on from public input and discussions with individuals involved with the team over the years.
That we wanted to be proactive in terms of a name change and not be on the back end of it. We wanted to be sensitive to the whole idea of using the name that we've used. And then secondly, we wanted to be a little bit more assertive with regards to our marketing and brand and rebranding, and just gives us the opportunity to be a little bit more creative, and it gives us a chance to do some things that were a little bit limited with regards to the previous names.
A new name which pays tribute to the history of the team through its 57 years as the Swift Current Indians, which is key for Coach Joe Carnahan.
We've had such a great history, great tradition. I've been part of it for guess 16 years now, and still talk to guys who I played up here with my first year, and they still talk about their time up here in Swift Current. You know, people that I've met at the ballpark, you know, still have relationships with them, and very important to be able to pay tribute to the tradition in the past.
Along with the name change comes a new logo and team colors, all of which will take the team through the changing times of years to come.
The whole idea of newness, reinvigoration that goes along with green, and then the orange was just an opportunity for us to be unique. Those two colors are a unique combination. They're not colors that anybody else in the WMBL has. They're not colors that are common, and so it gives us a distinct leg up already.
And now with the rebranding in place and the anticipation of the upcoming season, the club will work aggressively to get more fans out to the games.
We kind of found out last year, and we probably had arguably one of the best baseball teams ever, and we were short on fans. It was tough, so we realized it was good for us. You know, we were kind of sitting back and, oh yeah, it's no problem, we'll just have baseball. But now we got to think about it and change our ways. And I think when people come to the park this year, they're going to be pleasantly surprised. It's going to be a lot of fun.
The Swift Current 57s will kick off the 2017 WMBL season at home on June 1st, hosting Moose Jaw.
Those times when I thought that he was just very quiet and shy and withdrawing a little bit, that he was probably depressed and I didn't know it.
And you think that this is a short-term thing. In a week or two, he's going to be back to normal, but that's not the case.
School divisions across the province are facing challenging times with decreased funding. And in this report, we take a closer look at how the Chinook School Division is dealing with the issue. As the Chinook School Division looks ahead to the next 6 months of the current school year, it faces numerous challenges following shortfalls in funding from the province.
What our board has done is they've given us direction to, of course, look at cuts as far away from the classroom as possible. And I think part of our job as administration is to try to insulate the schools and the frontline workers as much as we can from any of the realities that we're facing as a province. But as you know, 70 to 80% of our budget is tied up in personnel, so we will be having to address some of those challenges. But as I said, hopefully with being as far away from the classroom as possible.
All the while, keeping the best interests of students across the division at the forefront, with its long-term goals set for 2020.
Yeah, we never lose track of that. We've made incredible gains, and we continue to push for 90%. And our graduation rates that are already at 90%, we're actually trying to figure out ways to improve attendance for kids and to improve the engagement so that, you know, we recognize a lot of our kids in high school graduate, but have they had the full experience that they could have had during those precious years? So we're trying to improve on that too.
The Chinook School Division is the second largest in the province, with approximately 6,000 students across the Southwest.
Once it was up, everything kind of went in slow motion a little bit, and looked like it was just floating down. And once Doki caught it, we went crazy.
Well, this brings to a close another episode of Southwest TV News, reporting the stories that matter to you. We always welcome your news tips. You can always reach us here by phone at our studio or by email to contact us at southwesttvnews.com. Also, be sure to join us daily online for the latest news from across Southwest Saskatchewan and so much more at southwesttvnews.com. And be sure to follow us on a range of social media. Thanks for joining us here today. I'm Carol Andrews.